to help them verify it. And the way that they're going to do that in the
Hey everybody, welcome back. How's it going?
Howdy. How's everybody today?
Artemis 2. Kind of crazy. It's been 50 years since we are even close to doing what we're going to do today. So this is pretty big. This is very big. A lot of people are here because I'm normally covering IFT, right? The Starship launches live and this type of thing. And then of course Friday nights we do the live show with my wife Fabiola and myself. But today it's just going to be all about Artemis and nothing to do with SpaceX. This is kind of interesting. We got the NASA shirt on.
I'm being a NASA nerd.
You could be a NASA nerd.
I'm pretending I work for NASA.
Yeah, I like
kind
it.
of, sort of.
So what we got going on over here?
So I want to sign into the chat. That's why I haven't typed, but it's telling me if I want to start a channel. Should I start a channel?
Yeah, maybe you should just start a channel. Maybe that sounds it. That sounds like a plan. So yeah, this is going to be, I think this should be interesting because this has been long waited. I mean, people have been waiting for this for a long time, right? And they changed things up from actually going to the moon to now doing kind of like baby steps, you know, which is fine. I don't mind the baby steps. And I think that's what they should have done anyways. I mean, that's what we did with the Apollo missions, right? It was all about the baby steps. So, you know, hopefully everything turns out well and we don't end up with any kind of issues. I'm never confident when it comes to NASA in comparison to when it comes to SpaceX. And even though it's private, they just seem to get it a little bit more often. Now, of course, they're blowing the ships up all the time, but NASA just has always, there's always something going on. So let's just hope there's nothing going on. Let's hope weather, you know, is good. The last time I checked the weather, it was good. We had like 100% likelihood of launching. So I just heard that there was a termination system problem. Someone was talking about that in the chat just moments ago. And, you know, that kind of stuff happens. You know, that's going to happen. As long as there's nothing wrong with the rocket and there's a couple of issues that need to be addressed on the ground, you know, it kind of is what it is. So we're right now at what? Let me see here. What are we at T-minus? We're at, it says 54 minutes. So 6:30 was the time. I think it was like 6:24 or somewhere on there is what they were stating. But remember, they have a launch window of 2 hours. So they can launch between, let's say 6:30, round it off, to like 8:30. So if they have problems, they could stand down. Another problem, they could stand down. It's not an issue. But luckily, the weather is definitely cooperating. And I like to see that because we've been having some crazy weather. We're down here in South Florida, too, where they're launching out of. We're about, what, 3 hours south?
Oh, wait. Nomadic Copelli said mission scrubbed.
No, there you go. Mission scrubbed. So, you know, this is the kind of stuff that, you know, you just never know what is going on with NASA. There's always some kind of issue, but I don't know. We'll see. We're going to keep up with it and see. It says that it was scrubbed. Well, it still says Artemis launch T-minus 1 hour and 52 minutes. That's on their main page. Let me pop over to that real quick. There we go.
It's been raining too over here, like this week, a lot on and off.
Yeah. So we will have to see.
Well, it's kind of nice to see you guys on a Wednesday afternoon.
I know.
Normally, I'm not here into. Hopefully, if this thing goes off, it would be so cool because I'm here, and this is kind of a historical thing. This is
history for sure. So hopefully it goes off. I don't know. We will keep watching it and see what ends up happening. I might actually bring over one of the other windows so that we can see what's going on here. It does say still T-minus, what is it, 1 hour, 51 minutes? So to me, what that looks like is they pushed it back an hour. Are we sure that it was scrubbed, or did they just push it back?
I don't know.
Anyone in the chat?
William Favrick,
throw it
47 minutes 32.
That's what you're getting, 47:32. Oh.
Right here, last one.
Okay. We'll keep up with it. We'll see.
Sandy Gums 2378, 100% accurate. Elon and SpaceX will receive this evening. The end of the lunar and solar long day and night are only 1 minute and 9 hours apart. Good job. I am the only Russian Swede left to do it.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna. What I'll do is, as soon as they start with their coverage, I do this all the time. I do the exact same thing with the Starship. As soon as they start their coverage, and that, according to what my screen says, that's in T-minus 52 minutes, 8 seconds. So in that 50 minutes, as soon as they go live, or if they go live earlier, I'm just going to throw them on. So just, if you're hanging out with me or us watching this, just understand that once it is live, you're going to see the whole thing. We're not, you're not going to just see us. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, this looks like I don't see anything about a finalized scrub on it, but we'll keep looking. Let's see.
Are we having an issue with YouTube? It looks like it's freezing a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's stuttering a little bit. Not really sure. It's possible there could be an issue with.
Hi, Michael. Yeah, it did turn jittery for us too, so it's not just you.
Yeah, that whole jittery thing. Whenever I've seen this happen with YouTube sometimes. Remember, we're sitting on.
There's a lot of people, I'm sure, that are tuning into YouTube, so it's to be expected.
Yeah, and this is historic. So who knows how many people are on YouTube right now? How many people are actually doing these lives and talking about it? So we'll see. Hopefully, the stuttering stops. The connection that we currently have, we have T-Mobile, we have SpaceX Starlink, and we have a 1x1 fiber connection. All 3 connections currently for our outstream. So we should be pretty decent when it comes to outbound, but YouTube says, it has some type of error. I can see it popping up on my screen over there. So who knows what's going on with them? But we'll just let it go, and hopefully it kind of massages its way out. And let's hope that the launch doesn't get scrubbed. On their YouTube channel, it's still saying live in 50 minutes. So we'll see. Anyone else with more? I don't know. With more information, definitely put it into the chat and let us know what you're seeing. Let me see here if there's any other news that's come through. I don't see anything new here. 1 hour, 50 minutes. So the actual L count is 1 hour, 50 minutes. So, which would make sense, because if their main site shows 49 minutes and they're showing 1 hour and 49 minutes, that kind of makes sense, because that means that their live programming would be 1 hour long, let's say. So that to me means that they're still on. Now, I know someone said that it was scrubbed. Who said it was scrubbed? Someone said it was scrubbed.
I think this nomadic Cocopelli.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think it's scrubbed. I think we're still on, but we'll see.
Well, we're here regardless.
We're here. We're hanging out. So if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and put an @JCristina in the comment area, and we'll get to any kind of questions we'll take a few while we're just kind of hanging out. Anyways, we have just about an hour to hang out before they go live. So let's see here. Now, let me just give you some quality information about this launch.
There's going to be 4 people on here?
Yeah, there's 4 astronauts on there. One of the astronauts, you did some research on him. He's from Canada, right?
He's not from the United States. His name is Jeremy Hansen, and he's from Canada.
Yeah, so
he's a mission specialist.
And he will be the first non-American to leave LEO, low Earth orbit. So that's kind of interesting if you think about that. So remember, I know there's a lot of folks out there that think that we're launching to the moon today, and we're not. We are taking a journey to the moon and coming back. So the idea here with this mission is, once again, baby steps. And so what's going to end up happening is we're going to fly off Earth, right? and end up in the trajectory to the moon. And when we get close to the moon, I think about maybe 4, 5, 6,000 kilometers, we're going to then kind of spin around the backside of it, and then using its own gravitational pull, then launch us back to Earth. So the amount of propulsion that is needed to get back to Earth once we get to the moon is next to nothing, because we're going to use the moon to slingshot us back. So the only propulsion that is needed is the propulsion, the small corrective propulsion that is on the Orion, right? So you don't need a lot of propulsion. It's just the steering, guiding, make sure everything is dead on, and that's it. So it's pretty straightforward. The biggest thing is getting there, right? So the entire mission is going to be 10 days long. So they're going to take, I think it's about 2 days to kind of coast to the moon. People think it's just like full throttle to the moon. No, they boost it, right? They hit their rocket. They're going, I think it's 17,000 miles per hour as they're leaving Earth, right? And then finally, once it hits the very last, the top stage, it's going to give it that final boost, the little bit of extra that it needs. It's going to pop apart, right? So you have the capsule. And then what they're going to do, which is really kind of cool, is some proximity stuff. So I got the battery. Let me see this battery here and a battery here.
Are you using visuals?
Yeah. So if this is the back end, right? This is the top of the ship, and this is, let's say, the Orion. This is the capsule, right? So once it's going to speed, they're going to separate. Now, instead of this one immediately thrusting off to the moon, it's not going to do that. What it's going to do is do some proximity things, right? It's going to wrap around it. Maybe it's going to flip, like if it's doing a docking type of staging, it might go to the backside of it, this type of thing. That is like so that they can test the ability to do proximity work in the depth of space without any type of GPS or anything, right? So that is really that's very important for moving forward, getting to the moon, landing on the moon, everything else, right? So they're going to be doing that. And once they've done all of that, then finally the capsule will thrust to the moon and kind of just coast for about 2 days until it gets to the moon. Then once again, it's going to wrap around. Now this is going to be they're going to see the dark side of the moon. How many people ever get to see the dark side of the moon, right? So in this journey, which is kind of nice, is they're going to actually be able to locate and see different places where they're thinking about landing on the moon, different landing spots. So they're going to have like the front, kind of like the best seats in the house, right? The first row seats to actually see where we will be landing on the moon in, 2028, if all goes well. So this is good stuff. This is really good stuff.
I'm just going to catch up on a couple of comments coming in. Michael Samuels, NASA just announced 41 minutes and 53 seconds to launch window opening. Mark Towner, they can't orbit the moon because they don't have the fuel, essentially what Apollo 13 did.
Right. They're slingshotting around the moon.
And Sandy Gums, if the rocket is suspend space, it will record or get samples using human astronauts or a machine.
Once they eventually get to the moon? Is that what you're asking?
I don't know, but also said fuel is there, but the rocket or satellite needs to stay in space to do its job.
Yeah, so they're once again, they're going to be pretty far from the moon. They're not getting like up. So
they're not getting up close and personal.
They're not getting that close. They're getting close, but like within like what? Let's call it 7. I think it's like 4,000 to 7,000 kilometers. It's not that. The moon will look this big to them, right? But the Earth, once they get there, will look the size of a marble, like a blue marble to them, which would be kind of interesting, right? So, but yes, they're not going to be orbiting. They're going to slingshot around the moon and come back. Basically, that's it. That's your 10-day. That's your 10-day trip if all goes well. But you know what? If something goes wrong with like the proximity things, and there is an anomaly,
maybe we can see if it's really made of cheese.
Maybe, right? They're just going to turn back and come back. They're not
So
going to.
I'm assuming I'm not the space person, so they're not coming in the way they left, right?
Yeah, no, just the way they left. It's gonna basically, if the Earth is here, they kind of come up, they go around the Earth, slingshot to the moon, and then come the opposite way and slingshot
And then
back.
come back.
So
Okay.
think of it as like a figure eight. It's basically, there you go. It's a figure eight journey to the moon.
Yeah.
It's a
that
journey.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
For
there you
me.
go. Yeah, very, very simple. Very, very simple.
Very cool. So what is the
Let me just flip over here, see
what are
what's
the
going on.
stats on this thing? Like,
It's pretty big. 322 feet tall and thrust of 8.8 million pounds of
it's
thrust.
just a little bit of thrust.
2 solid rocket boosters.
That's your
and
slingshotting?
That's your slingshot. And 4 RS-25 engines, which is kind of nasty. So what's really interesting here, guys, is this is kind of like reused equipment, right? A reused technology from when we were growing up with the space shuttle. So a lot of the technology is very old. But that's not a bad thing. That means that it's like tried and true. I mean, they've already tested it over and over. So it should do well. I mean, it should do well, unless there's, some type of anomaly that always, there's always a possibility. But it's not like what SpaceX is doing like right now with their Block 3 of the Starship. That is a brand new design, not an iteration, but an innovation. It's brand new. So when that launches in less than 4 weeks, the chances of it rutting and blowing up is highly likely. Hopefully it doesn't, but it's more likely than something like this that once again it's been worked and reworked and worked and reworked. NASA is like they love doing paper and computer simulations, right? And they will simulate until the cows come home, and then they'll finally launch so that they don't hurt anybody. Not that we didn't lose 2 space shuttles, right? But you can't take everything into consideration. What was it? An O-ring on one, and then another. I think heat tiles came off, and it kind of burned through. So there's always things that are going to happen. So
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Anyways, go ahead.
Mick Pletcher said, we saw the old technology earlier today while watching the astronaut being suited up. Their suits are so far behind those used by SpaceX. It's
true.
funny because we were at the Kennedy Space Center not that long ago.
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago.
And we walked through I guess it's kind of like a memorial museum type thing. And in the glass boxes, they have all the different suits that, some of these astronauts wore. And you can definitely see, like, it's crazy where we started.
I mean,
to
some
where
of
it
those
is today.
suits,
And obviously we didn't see the SpaceX stuff, but
yeah,
you have an idea, you get a feel for it. Even though some people think we didn't even go or that didn't happen.
I mean, some of these old suits, when you look at them, they literally look like something that you would wear to go to the depth of the ocean.
Yeah, one of the first ones that we saw, that
With
was the first thing I said to
metal
Joe.
contraption
It looked
and
like
the thing and
the scuba diving.
Yeah, it looked like a scuba suit.
1800s.
Yeah, 1800 deep, scuba suit. That's what it looked like. So, I mean, they've advanced from a scuba suit, definitely. But I agree with you. Like these orange suits that we see today that NASA uses in comparison to what SpaceX suits look like, they're not, it's on like a different, one is like future and one is like long past.
Yeah.
So,
Shannon is in the house.
Hey, Shannon, how you doing?
doing?
How's it going, Shannon?
Shannon with the super chat. Artemis blasting off tonight. SLS so huge it blocks the light. Orion's crew yells to the moon. We zoom. Hope it doesn't scrub on April Fool's doom. NASA's back. No more delay. Shame. Let's fly this beast and win the game. That is awesome.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for the super chat and
20 membership 20 memberships coming at you.
So if you got a free membership, please say thank you to Shannon. Shannon, thank you so much for your support. As always,
Thanks
truly
for being
appreciate
here
that.
with us this afternoon.
Absolutely. Let's switch back. Let's see what they're doing over here. Yeah, we got T-minus 1 hour, 39 minutes, 19 seconds is what it looks like. They're not live as of yet. Once they do go live, like I said, we will switch over to them so we can hear what they're talking about. we will see. We will see what ends up happening. Let me go ahead and turn some of this music down so it's just faint in the background, so it's not disrupting us. If you guys want it lower, just let me know if it's too loud. We don't want it to kind of overwhelm. Anyways, it's going to be kind of interesting for people. I just can't even imagine being on the backside or the dark side of the moon. And what would that look like? And the thing too is remember, guys, we're talking about having cameras that are 50-year newer cameras. So the amount, the type of pictures that we're going to get.
Really quick, T-minus 31 minutes. Thanks, Shannon.
31 minutes. There you go. I don't know why they say 138 on there. That's kind of weird, but it is what it is. Let me see here.
Did you refresh?
There we go. Yeah, that's right. 31 minutes. And as of right now, they are still, let me see. It still says 36. So that's kind of odd. So we got 36 minutes for the NASA Live, and it's saying T-minus 31 minutes. so NASA Live's supposed to come online 5 minutes after launch. I don't know. It just, it's NASA stuff. It's NASA time, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. And that's the whole thing. Like when we watch Blue Origin, like launch, right? When we watch, all these, and you look at it and you compare it to like a SpaceX launch, it's literally on a different level completely. One is like very polished,
well, one is government and one is not.
No, Blue Origin is Jeff Bezos' crap. Yeah, this is government.
I'm thinking NASA.
Yeah, NASA. This is government. You would think they would have all the money in the world. They have cameras and people on board.
It's like everything else the government does.
I don't know. Yeah. So, well, on that note, we will keep watching and see what ends up happening. So let's see here. Are they going live yet? No, nothing. Still nothing. We do have someone talking on here, T-minus 31 minutes. So what we're going to do is at T-minus 15 minutes, I'm going to flip over to them and see if they actually do the flip on time or what they do. Because remember, I'm always covering the IFT stuff, all of the Starship, and you can set a watch to what they're doing.
You can set a watch.
You can set a watch, right? But
that's
with
really
these
old
people,
school. Set a timer.
Set a timer. Yeah, you can't do that with these people, So we'll see. So just so you know, there's going to be these milestones that happen, and just to kind of watch for. And as they launch, I'll probably clue you in on them. Number one, of course, you're going to end up with the liftoff. And from the liftoff, you're going to hit max Q, and then the booster separation, and then the core stage separation. I put a list together in different times and stuff so that I can let you know when things are happening, when the Orion separates, the solar array ends up deploying, all of this type of stuff. So I'll let you know what's going on as it happens, kind of narrated a little bit, if they don't. The last time, like I said, we watched Blue Origin launch, I ended up having to narrate half the stuff for them because they didn't even talk half the time. So hopefully NASA actually does some good narration as far as what's going on. So we'll see what ends up happening. But once again, guys, this is not going to be a landing mission on the moon. This is going to be a flyby, and it's going to take 10 days. They will be coasting to the moon for, I think it's 2 days. I think it's like just over 48 hours, just coasting to get to the moon. And when they get there, they're going to use the moon's gravitational pull to slingshot them back. So it won't take very much propulsion. Because remember, the amount of propulsion that these things have is minimal. There's a certain amount, right? It's called delta V. Not that anyone cares, but the delta V is X amount, and that's it, right? And if you waste it on certain things, well, then you don't have it, you don't have leftover. It is what it is. So that's it. The same thing holds true with satellites. The satellites, when they get put into orbit, they have a delta V of X. When it's expended, that propulsion is no longer, it will be dragged back into orbit and burn up. That's just it.
Shannon did a super chat to remind us of the time, and another super chat. Show us what a real rocket looks like. God, why?
Let me see. Hold on, guys.
It's not Friday night,
It's not
Shannon.
Friday, but I'm going to get it anyways.
Fire that shit up. Don't burn Fab's hair. You know, really.
Shannon.
Like, share, and subscribe.
This is not Friday night, but
Wow.
if anyone's new, haven't been here,
Wow.
we light this shit up a lot. So this is
and I'm always in the line of fire in case anybody knew.
we won't burn
cared.
Fab. So this is the Block 1. The Block 2 they have already kind of thrown into history, and Block 3 is coming out.
I'm moving.
And that will be launching probably in about 3 weeks. So here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you see? I would have been right there. Great.
That was a pretty big one.
Are you happy? Good job.
Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate the super chat. We have to always light it up. So let's see. What do we got here? Let me switch over and see what they're talking about.
27
here.
minutes.
Yeah, we got 27 minutes. Let's listen to see what's going on over there real quick here. Hold on just a second, guys. Here we go.
I think our overarching KPIs that we should always be tracking is the number of people living and working in space. Well, you know what's another strong number 2 on that one? It's the number of kids that are dressing up as astronauts for Halloween so that they grow up, that they're inspired to want to join in this grand endeavor, whether they come work with us here at NASA or they join in industry, but they're helping humankind venture out farther, pursue all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of kids dressed as astronauts this year. And finally, Jared, you've really made it a personal mission to get to know the people behind the work at NASA. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words before today's history-making launch?
Yeah, well, one, I want to express a lot of appreciation. I'll tell you what, the 4 astronauts on top of Artemis 2 know this. It takes an army to pull a mission together like this, right? Across all 10 of our centers, all of our commercial partners, the international partners that come together to make this possible. My sincere appreciation for everyone who is currently working the mission right now, so getting them ready for launch, that will be watching over them in mission control, recovering this crew when they splash down off the West Coast. I have complete trust and confidence in your abilities. And everybody else who's not directly working on Artemis 2, Artemis 3 is coming up next year. When this mobile launcher gets back in the VAB, we're going to start stacking.
Wow, plenty of excitement ahead of us. Jared Isaacman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Of course. All right. And with that, let's get back to the countdown with NASA's Megan Cruz.
Under 25 minutes and counting from the opening of our 2-hour launch window. And take a look at all these people behind us. I literally, every moment I turn around and I see the clock, I am like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
There are more people and less time.
Yes, exactly, which is a great problem to have. Yes. Now, this first crewed test flight of NASA's Artemis program coincides with the 250th anniversary of our country's founders signing the Declaration of Independence. Exploration is a part of America's DNA, and it continues now with our return to the moon.
250 years ago, 13 colonies laid the foundation for the greatest and most enduring democracy in the history of the world. One driven by courage, faith, and freedom. From that moment, we became a nation defined not by where we stood, but by how far we were willing to go. We conquered vast frontiers, invented tools that shaped a modern world. We found light in the dark, and we rose from the earth. Faster, higher, farther. We pushed beyond the sky and into the unknown. We carried our courage into the cosmos, and we planted the American flag on the moon, the defining achievement of American superiority in space. Today, our curiosity stretches farther than ever. American robots search ancient rivers on Mars. New telescopes unfold to glimpse the first stars. And a new generation prepares to return to the moon, this time to stay. For 250 years, America has carried the light of humanity forward. But American exceptionalism isn't inherited, it's earned. Our greatness comes not only from what we've done, but what we're still determined to discover. Because in every era, across every horizon, America is at its best when it's reaching for something greater. America celebrates 250 years, and we are leading the world into the future.
Sweet.
22 minutes, 15 seconds and counting from Artemis 2, NASA's boldest test flight in a generation. The crew has said this often, that they hope it inspires children around the world. And recently, a group of kids here at Kennedy Space Center got a surprise of a lifetime while watching that rocket roll to the launch pad.
Beautiful skies. It's perfect. Perfect time here in South Florida right now.
So tell me what color it is.
Who's going to be on that rocket?
We're going to be on that rocket.
I could make it a little bit longer. Did you see it? Okay, so everybody's looking at the rocket because it is kind of cool and impressive. One of the coolest things happening over there right now, though, is it's on top of a giant tractor.
Doesn't all food come in like tubes? It's in these like little plastic bags, and you have to like rehydrate it. Sushi. I haven't seen sushi in space. It's probably hard to keep that back.
Sushi mashed together.
My favorite part was this one little girl, she had a question. She had patiently held her hand for a long time, and Christina turns to her and says, okay, what's your question? She just goes, I forgot. It was like, that's a perfect little kid moment. I just laughed.
Wait, are you my mother's cartoon astronauts?
What? Say that again?
Never mind. It's a little hard to say. Go Artemis!
These two? Yeah. Put it on. Yeah. There you go. I like your dabbing astronaut back there.
It's just so fun to see the enthusiasm, the energy, and a little bit of chaos.
3, 2, 1. Wasn't that so cute?
I love kids and their excitement and, you know, even just being real. Like, I don't remember what I was
I know, he goes, but I'm glad you're here. Now here we are, Space Center Houston. The crowd has exponentially grown throughout the day. We started showing you live shots from in there probably an hour ago, and now take a look at all the people there getting ready to witness history together. It's something really special to be able to witness something like this together.
Yeah, you know, we've heard from celebrities and officials and kids, and, you know, it's amazing. People from all around the world came here today to Florida to watch, so it's something, it's hard to put into words, just how much support for this mission we're seeing today.
And great news, too. Remember, the team was tracking an issue with the launch abort system battery. They appear to have cleared that issue, so we are go for launch.
Yes, it's exciting.
Go for launch. That's what we want to hear. Go for launch.
Yes,
U.S. Space and Rocket Center here, Huntsville, Alabama, waving to the Artemis 2 crew sitting right there inside Orion. Inside of 20 minutes from the opening of our launch window, and right now we are targeting the top of that launch window, so we could be launching here in about 19 minutes, Nicole.
Wow, I don't know if I expected this today. I'm excited, and, you know, I'm glad they were able to clear the problem with the battery on the LAS, and everything has gone really smoothly today. It's been great. The weather cleared up. It's a beautiful day for a launch.
And so now, as we are so close to possibly launch now.
If you guys don't know what LAS means
thoughts
or what it is, it's basically an emergency escape system for the crew.
A mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years.
Yeah, you know, just so proud of the crew and all of the teams.
So just guys know,
here on the ground
right now we're at T-minus 18. At T-minus 17, the launch director pulls the team and ensures that it's a go. So you can hear go, 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 go. If you hear someone say no go, well, there's a problem and they're going to have to look at it. At T-minus 17 minutes, that's when we're going to see visors down.
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
001. Nomadic.
You know, I think it's in their patch. We're going for all. It's in the name of their capsule, integrity, representing humility and the professionalism of everyone that got them there today. So proud of them. We love them. We're excited for them, and we cannot wait to see what they see.
Just leveraging everything we've learned so far as an agency, taking us from Apollo now to the launch pad here, 39B, with Orion
that is a famous
and SLS
launch pad,
poised
39B.
to again fly us into the history books. And before we leave you now here at the host desk to get back into operations, we just wanted to answer one question for you guys. We asked you earlier on today, what are you most excited for? And we asked you to go vote on Instagram and Twitch. Instagram, you guys said launch. Twitch, you guys said lunar flyby. So I think you guys will all be very excited since we are now about 17 minutes
That's what I'm
from the opening of our launch window today.
As a photographer.
And so with that, as we approach terminal count, let's send it back to Daryl Nail in firing room 1.
We should hear the
Daryl.
go, no go,
All right,
no
thank
go,
you,
go.
Megan and Nicole, and just want to give you an update on the launch abort system that you just reported that they cleared. They believe, they're convinced, this is an instrumentation failure. There are 2 batteries on the LAS. The LAS, of course, and with the help of my 2-year-old son's model rocket, Daniel said I could use this, so it's okay. The LAS is right here. It's the tower above Orion. Orion capsule's inside of here. It's used to pull Orion off the rocket in case the rocket something's going on with the rocket, either on the pad or in flight. 2 batteries are bad. Well, I'm sorry, one of the 2 batteries reported an out-of-family temperature, and it was very much out of family. And so they checked their data going back into the vehicle assembly building where they recharged the batteries and worked on them. And they have good, solid data, they reported, that tells them that this is an instrumentation failure, that there's something wrong with the sensor. And so they took it before the mission management team, which has to accept the risk, any changes to launch commit criteria, which this would be one, and they all fully accepted it. So now we are clear as far as that constraint is concerned.
That's nice. So the
and
batteries
one quick
are fine.
thing as we
The
count
instrument is
down now,
reading
we are
improperly.
getting into the final minutes before liftoff. There's a 2-hour window. We haven't quite set the T0 yet, but this is a list of the cutouts. There are 150 cutouts that are included for this 2-hour launch window, and that's important. They're in very small print. That's important because there's basically 16 minutes inside this window that they cannot launch. And these are because of small things flying in orbit. There's a lot more things in orbit than there were back in Artemis 1 when we had 35 to 40 cutouts. For that reason, because of these 156 cutouts, they're going to be managing the launch window as we go forward. So they may have to wait out one of these cutouts. They range in time between...
Just understand what he's talking about. Just think about satellites. There was like a couple of thousand satellites on orbit. Now there's over 10,000 just from Elon that are on orbit. There's a total of about 15,000 satellites in orbit. They have to work the schedule around where they will be at any given time. That's those windows. Those are the windows of opportunity or not opportunity.
And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel.
That is kind of cool, because we'll be able to hear,
We're now
just
entering one of the
commentating,
most consequential
but we'll be able
phases
to
of
hear
launch day,
astronauts.
and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD on 212 for comm check.
Good comm. How me?
I hear the same. STC?
2.
GTC?
GTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
That's good. Everything's linked up.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA Test Director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point, we have a clear board, no constraints.
Nice.
But we need confirmation from each individual on the NASA Test Director team.
So at T-minus 10 minutes, the GLS
so we'll
is
hear
going to
him
give
poll
us,
his team.
basically that's the
other
countdown,
poll
the
that we're
automated
waiting
countdown
for
brain. It's going to
is
give
the
us
poll from Launch
actual,
Director Charlie
terminal
Blackwell
count.
Thompson.
That's at 10 minutes usually.
Who will take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. And you're seeing the clock count down at L-minus 12 minutes.
CCL OTC Ryanair S1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR OTC, you're on Earth 1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies.
NGDLP.
Go.
Yes, I had a discussion with Sea Ice and with MER Manager regarding the observation the Sea Ice had a few minutes ago. They were able to confirm with BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER Manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a Sea Ice or MER Manager perspective.
Perfect.
Okay. Copy all. And Launch Director, NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
OTC, CCL 212.
OTC.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configurations complete.
Copy.
We're almost at that T-minus
And
10.
CGLS NTD, cancel pending, please.
TLS copies, and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T-minus 10 minutes, but we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work and anything else that we need to do to get through the remainder of count. So we'll continue working that to get to our T0 today.
All right.
So when we get to about 50 seconds from now, we'll extend that hold.
It's going to do a hold at
CVSC OTC.
So at 10 instead of the GeoWest.
CVSC 400 290. Looking to verify that we are configured for Ascent.
Yep, give me about 2 more minutes. I'm going to start CMA2 streaming.
Copy.
NTD COSE hold requested.
Copy that.
So we should see it hold
I
at
have
10.
an LCC violation of O-CT-004. S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm when it should have been between 10 and 13. It is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this was transient, so we're
Just talking
back
about
in a nominal
SNR,
range.
your signal-to-noise ratio went out of whack, so it was getting basically,
Yeah,
about
we're not
it
seeing
got
that
noisy.
hit. So I guess question
the
for
signal
COSE, was that
off
less than 3 samples? Is
modulation.
that below our persistence?
Stand by, let me look. It did look like it did persist for several seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
Could I get a repeat on the affected LCC, please?
Yes, ma'am, that's going to be O-CT-004.
Thank you.
Once again, since it went to, what was it, -2 dB, back up to 12 dB, they're gonna call that as fine. That was an anomaly of some kind. Who knows why? Signal to noise ratio got whack. Could be anything. So there's
Yeah, I
your
was
hold
taking a look at the
10.
data right here. Looks like that was a single sample.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, copy that. RFTS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds. So I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
Yeah, you don't want to lose lock, but still such a
And
short brief
COSE,
period of time.
while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second sample?
Yeah, so they got one sample. That
Yes,
was
sir,
off.
that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to
They're gonna
3
call that
samples
good.
based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir, I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
There you
We're
go.
checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but
So that'll be a go.
it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds.
Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
And 12 dB signal to noise, so...
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
And this is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSE.
And KUS is reported to they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration per your LCC?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Right. LPE, you concur with that?
Yes, sir. LPE concurs go.
And Launch Director?
Yes, sir. Launch Director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, Launch Director, and if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for ComConfig, or are you...
That is affirmed, sir.
Okay, is that your only open item?
Yeah, OTC, this is CVSC. That 400 step 290 is complete.
Copy. Okay, so OTC, you're complete with all of your work?
That's affirmed.
All right, copy that. STC?
STC is complete.
And GTC?
GTC is complete.
Okay, excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time.
No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir.
Okay, tracking the same here. And Launch Director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis 2 launch readiness check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
OTC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC.
C's go.
MCO.
TO's go.
Safety Console.
The Safety Console is go.
LPE.
LPE's go.
RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston Flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
ROC is go.
And CDR.
Cruise go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And Launch Director, NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the Launch Director performing the final poll for launch, verifying no constraints, and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
The Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy, thank you. Range Weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis MMT Chair.
MMTs go.
Thank you, John. And Integrity Launch Director.
Good to hear your voice, Charlie. PLT.
Thank you, Charlie. This is Victor. We are going for our families.
MS1.
This is Christina. We are going for our teammates.
MS2. This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity. All right, Charlie, your Artemis 2 crew is go for launch. Full send.
I copy that. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis 2. Let's go. And into the Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Figure risers and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8 and 9 going to work.
Copy. CVSE NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy.
Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to
From
start
booster
terminal
ignition,
count.
SNA arm rotation, enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. Once we wrap up this last bit of work,
SNA arm rotation enable complete.
we're going to start that clock.
Copy that. Thank you.
Integrity crew, close and lock visors.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock on the Orion. It was transitory. It was very short. They checked the data, confirmed that they had a good lock. This was with the S-band transmitter on the Orion. Worked through that issue, looked at the data, and cleared it. All with the world watching. Impressive work by the launch team. So we have a 2-hour window, which starts in just a few minutes at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time and goes until 8:24 p.m. Eastern Time.
And ECL NTD will be waiting for your verification on the short purge. ECL copies. And for all personnel, once we get that short purge verification, we'll verify that we are clear to go, and then we'll proceed with the terminal count. ECL time estimate?
About a minute.
Copy.
So we're going into the launch window, but not by much, it looks like. Just wrapping up some final work.
Now you hear me.
Shannon, thanks.
Thanks, Shannon.
And once that's completed, you'll hear NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding ask for the ground launch sequencer operator to go ahead and start the clock.
Here we go. Like I said, they do that. Usually
The
that
ground
short
launch
purge at
sequencer is
T-minus
an
14,
application
they pushed it
software.
back.
It runs on top of the launch control system in the firing room. Acts like a conductor of an orchestra, executing hundreds of commands in precise order and timing. It's all autonomous.
NTD CCL 212, short purge initiation is verified.
All right, copy that, and we're verifying our constraints.
And like you were saying, that GLS is basically the automated countdown, like the brain of it, to keep track of what's going on with everything. Like we were saying, like the conductor.
All right, and we're clear from cutouts. And with that, we're going to resume the clock momentarily. And CGLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
GLS copies. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
There you go.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
10 minutes and counting. We have T-minus 26, but they just...
And that begins terminal count. Our new T0 is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We are now counting down to liftoff of Artemis 2.
Crazy, guys.
From now on, you're going to hear two voices on the loops. If everything goes nominally, NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding, who's directly managing the launch team, and Alex Bendelos, the GLS operator who closely monitors the software. He has the ability to stop and restart the countdown.
I wish we could be there.
I know.
A lot of people ask about whether there's a launch button. There certainly is
Houston
not.
Flight and Rock, our new T0 is 22:35:12.
Houston flight copies. Rock copies. 22:35:12.
Here we go.
Affirm.
There you heard confirmation of the exact T0, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Again, Our T0 is 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time.
So at 8 minutes,
But as I was
T-minus
saying,
8 minutes,
there's no
that's when
launch
the
button.
crew
This
access
is
arms
autonomous,
will retract.
but there is a button that keeps you from launching, and that button allows the GLS operator to pause the countdown outside of terminal count and during terminal count and submit a hold to the next holding point. So the clock won't stop right away. If there's an issue, we'll go to the next stable holding
Shannon
point.
with a super chat.
This is how GLS configures the rocket and ground
God, Bozo
systems
didn't
to
build
a
this
stable
rocket.
point where they can stop the countdown if that's needed. But right now, we are counting down. Our next big milestone, looking to retract the crew access arm.
Yeah, that should be at T-minus 8
GLS
minutes.
is go for crew access arm retract.
There it is.
And there you see the crew access arm moving away.
Awesome, awesome.
That's the path that the astronauts took to ingress into the rocket.
That's so crazy.
Until this point, that was their way off the pad if they needed to evacuate. But now with that arm retracting, the backup transitions to a launch abort system. And they'll begin arming
It
that
is an
shortly.
amazing view.
Yeah, what a view.
It's
So
crazy
at
'cause
T-minus 6, that's when they,
Of course, the launch abort
they
system.
activate the pyros.
Great
right?
shot there of the crew
And
access arm
Orion,
retracting away.
Beyond internal power.
The
at
launch abort
T-minus 6
system is the
also.
tower at the top, and that's what would pull Orion and its crew off the top of the rocket in case of an emergency, whether it's on the ground or in flight. This is critical safety
Yeah,
hardware
there's actually rockets
that protects
inside
the
of there
lives
that will
of the astronauts.
just yank the entire craft off the rocket and has parachutes, the whole 9 yards. It's a safety mechanism. So, like, if something was to happen right
Starting
now
at T-minus
on the ground,
6 minutes,
you would see that tippy
the
top
GLS
just
will start
launch
bringing that
into
and
the
other
air
high energy systems online,
and parachute
starting
everyone
with
back
core
down.
stage
Parachute the craft
pressurization.
back down. Same thing happens in air. It will do the same thing.
Windwalker said, Jay, you're about to miss your ride.
I know, right?
I was going to say it's crazy because we were just there and like you see it on TV, but to be around these things, it was so massive.
Weather is 90% go, the range is go,
There's 6 minutes.
all systems are go.
GLS go, core stage tank pressurization.
GLS is go for core
refreshing.
stage tank pressurization.
That means the replenish valve for the liquid hydrogen tank has now closed, and that tank is beginning to pressurize to flight levels because that hydrogen is naturally boiling inside the tank. We'll get the liquid oxygen tank a little later in the count. Now the team is waiting for verification that, if needed, the Artemis 2 crew could use the launch abort system to pull Orion safely off the top of the rocket in an emergency. Let's listen in for that call.
GLS verifies last capability available.
There you go.
CDR, do you copy?
Last
CDR
LAS.
copies, last available.
That's that little tippy top thing that can just yank them off
That's
the
great
top.
news, and you heard the NTD verify that with the commander of the mission.
GLS is go for FTS arm.
Now work is being done to arm the flight termination system. This is so the range safety can send a flight termination command if the rocket flies too far off track. There's a brief built-in delay so the launch abort system has time to pull the astronauts
GLS
to
is
safety
go for
first.
LH2 high flow bleed check.
Safety
Right, the high flow
upon
bleed
safety
check.
upon safety.
That's so the cryo team gets verification that the RS-25 engines, all 4 of them, are in the proper temperature range for launch.
Redundancy and triple redundancy on just about every core part on the craft.
GLS is go for core stage APU start.
Core stage APUs start. Those are auxiliary power units. high-speed turbines which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25 engines. We're going to see a gimbal test a little later at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what allows that to happen. Coming up in about 20 seconds, we're listening for go for purge sequence 4. That's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve. This gets all the air and moisture out of there.
Just so you guys know, at T plus 3 minutes, right around then, that emergency system, that last system, gets ejected, basically. There's no more, they cannot
moving through
use
the
it
milestones
to get to safety, let's say.
All is looking good.
Perfect. I think it's like 3 minutes plus 3 minutes 18, somewhere.
Coming up in just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test. This is a gimbaling of the engines.
T-minus 2:45, people. 2 minutes to the moon.
There are the 4 RS-25s. Crazy. 3 of them shuttle heritage. 1 of them built from shuttle parts.
Imagine, it's literally...
And there you see them moving.
There they are. You see them moving? It's amazing. These are like the majority, a lot of it is shuttle parts. Look at them gimbaling. See them? Sweet.
Now we're going to start moving the power from both the upper stage and the lower stage of the rocket to internal, taking ground power away and now going to battery power.
GLS is go for upper stage to internal power.
All right, power is removed from the rocket's upper stage, the ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same milestone for the lower core stage coming up at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Every time
right now,
you hear ICPS,
the 4-person Artemis 2 crew
is
is 248,000 miles away from the moon. And if all goes well, they will fly by it in 6 days.
GLS is go for core stage to internal power.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power.
1 minute, 20 seconds. Holy
There's no
God.
more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
One minute.
We're getting to the moon again, guys. We're getting to the moon.
Right now, the rocket does
Flying
not know
by.
what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that could come from the ground.
Yeah, the commander.
Now, shortly after liftoff,
ALS
Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS, go for ALS.
Great call out.
Seconds,
the rocket
people.
is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA
to the
has
moon.
ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go.
T-minus 10 seconds,
10,
folks.
9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit.
Come
4,
on.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition.
No problems.
And
Let's see.
liftoff.
No issues.
The
Let's
crew
go.
of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. God. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
This is amazing.
Man.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
You're going to see the solid rockets
Integrity
peel
passes the
off.
ultimate beacon. Target
momentarily.
milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage.
Perfect.
Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
1,200 miles per hour. Look at that. Man. Look at that. Smooth. You don't see any issues. That is picture perfect.
Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Max Q, 1 minute, 10 seconds.
Loud and clear on Ponce de Leon. Have you the same?
At 2:08, 2 minutes, 2 minutes
signal
into it,
transport
we're going to see
confirmed
those
as
solid
Integrity
rocket
and its crew go
boosters peel off.
supersonic.
Watch for it.
Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
It's a green screen, you guys.
Yeah, it's not real. And the Earth is square. It's flat. Here we go. I wish they had like a
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2 minute 9 second mark.
2 minute 9, solid. You'll see them just peel
throttle
apart
down?
like this.
Yeah. It's going to take how long to get to the moon? Like 6
days.
Confirmed separation.
They basically are coasting to the moon.
Main
for
engines
2
throttling
days.
up, guidance converged.
There we go. You see the two?
Yeah. Wow. Perfect.
Picture perfect.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
So at 3 minutes and 18 seconds, you're going to see that last system, right? That top piece that can save them and pull them apart if they need to. That will be a jettison. You'll see that pull off too. You're not
2
going to
minutes
see
45 seconds of
because they
mission
don't have
elapsed
anything
time
on
into the
board.
Artemis 2 mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state, ahead of service module fairing separation. Three minutes into the flight, Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
Amazing. Oh, did you see it?
Yeah.
Sweet. So they have some on board.
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
There you go. Yep.
Copy jettison, Team Eco 8+02.
It's just amazing.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tidris at the Carmen line.
Outstanding, Stan, we have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
.806, I believe, MECO would be. That's main engine cutoff. Just over 8 minutes.
Can you imagine the view?
Here's some view. Here. Nice. Come on.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
That's so cool.
Can you imagine? You see the moon. You're like, yeah, we're going there.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Integrity, 3 engine press.
3 engine press.
On time, now passing 5 minutes 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
They'll be up to about 17,000 miles per hour.
That's crazy.
I think it's like 17,700.
Integrity, looking good at 6 minutes.
Same on board, Stan.
Good trajectory and engine performance. Booster officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling, expected at the 7-minute mark. Integrity, 78 miles in altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Integrity copies nominal shutdown.
Nice.
6 minutes, 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected. Again, the time of MECO was confirmed at 8 minutes, 2 seconds into the flight. Seven minutes of mission elapsed time.
8 minutes is a big
Throttling
time.
down as we approach the abort once around option.
Yep.
Milestone at the 7-minute 30-second mark. Now 84 miles in altitude, 650 miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
Integrity, AOA open.
AOA open.
The window is now open for an abort once around option that would target splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. Still following nominal ascent at this time.
This is still picture perfect. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good.
About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO and core stage separation.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that you're on live reporting about it, and you were born in 1969.
Yeah.
Integrity and nominal MECO, core stage separated.
There we go. I guess they have like a rendering that they put up here.
We see the same on board, Stan.
If our granddaughter was born today, it would be cool.
Yes.
8 minutes, 40 seconds into the flight, we have a nominal main engine cutoff heading in the right trajectory on the way to swing around the moon. Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft. Nine minutes of mission elapsed time. Integrity crew of Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen now in orbit around the Earth at the beginning of their journey to the moon.
That ICPS, which you see there, that's connected to Orion.
Integrity Houston, looking ahead to PRM numbers so far per the pad.
So nothing changed. That's what's going to end up pushing them.
Stan, numbers for the pad.
The last push towards the moon.
Capcom Stan Loves now reminding the crew that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition is as expected prior to booster ignition.
It's like about 49 minutes or so.
That time being 49 minutes, 50 seconds of mission elapsed time.
So once that ICPS separates from Orion, that's when Orion's going to do like a proximity thing. It's like about 4 hours into the mission, and it'll actually literally kind of move around it, right? And it's doing so to understand that it will be able to move correctly without GPS, because there's no more GPS, obviously, where they're going to be in 4 hours. So it has to be all done internally. So once it does that proximity check around the ICPS, that's when it'll eventually take its own thrusters, let's call it, its own engine.
Integrity, good NEDS deploy.
There we go. And push itself off to the moon and basically coast at that point.
Copy that, Stan. Good, Neds.
Everything's still good. I mean, no issues at all. That's just awesome. Yeah.
And Integrity Houston for PWD setup. Just a reminder, halfway open on the secondary.
We copy that. Stand halfway open.
Yes, Scott. Some screwball would be really good, actually, right now. We don't have any screwball here.
Oh, no, I do. It's
Passing
in the
11
fridge.
minutes of mission elapsed time.
No, in
Here,
the-
overhearing the conversation between Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman, already passing some milestones. We have a good nozzle extension deployment system. That is confirmed. Complete. We also have the visors are confirmed up. Now past the dynamic phase of flight that is Ascent. Their launch and entry suits that provided them an extra layer of protection. Now not as needed. They're going to raise those visors. And later in today's mission, they will begin to egress or get out of the suits to begin some of their initial tasks of activating some of the systems aboard in the Integrity spacecraft. It's passing 12 minutes of mission elapsed time. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that's targeted near 50 minutes of mission elapsed time, 49 minutes, 50 seconds. That's what the crew is going to be working towards. The Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover will focus on preparing for that milestone.
So right now
in the
we're at
meantime,
T+12
mission specialist Christina
minutes.
Cook and Jeremy Hansen will start some of the activation of environmental control life support systems. You may hear confirmation of their activation over the Orion to Earth communication network.
At T+20, they're going to, Orion will...
Houston, C3 aux power back in auto.
Copy C3 aux, and we're 2 minutes to maneuver.
So
Orion
what's happening
solar
now?
arrays will deploy at T+20, so the solar panels
They come off.
they will deploy
off.
so they can collecting energy from the sun, basically the solar arrays.
So they just stick out of
Yeah,
the thing
yeah, they
and
just
they
come out.
stay
They're,
out
they're
for a certain
collecting
amount of
and
time.
collecting power.
13 minutes and 30 seconds of mission elapsed time. We're going to continue to follow the crew of the Artemis 2 mission. They are beginning their journey around the moon to verify the systems that will take us to its surface. An incredible ascent. Artemis 2 is underway. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey to the moon. Still milestones to come up as we await solar array deploy and the critical burns that will get Integrity into high Earth orbit around the Earth before engines are fired to get us around the moon. We'll keep tabs on Integrity and its crew from here in Mission Control Houston. But for now, we're going to send it back to you, Megan and Nicole at the Kennedy Space Center. Very jealous to hear how the launch experience was over on the Space Coast.
Yeah, Gary, if people are just joining us, welcome back to the Space Coast, where we just saw Artemis 2 lift off 14 minutes ago. And wow, what an amazing launch, and an emotional one, too. As soon as the rocket lifted off, Nicole, you had tears in your eyes, I had tears in my eyes, and we had all these people around us cheering. It was amazing.
Yeah, the energy was wonderful. I mean, it was a beautiful launch. We've got 4 friends and family members headed to the moon. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, how does that make you feel as someone who, is an astronaut as well, but also, as you said, friends?
Yeah, so proud of them. Man, we don't have the words in the English language to describe this kind of an event. And pride, love, so many emotions. They are truly breaking some barriers, and hopefully, as Gary just said, they've got a long day ahead of them. So wishing them well on everything. But so far, what a beautiful launch to watch.
Yeah, to be returning to the lunar orbit in more than 50 years. Maybe they go farther from Earth than any other humans before them. Maybe they see parts of the moon that we've never seen before. I mean, what a great start to what could be all of these milestones that we break in just a 10-day mission.
Yes, what a way to welcome in the Artemis generation.
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, we saw some beautiful shots we were covering of course, the rocket, of course, the Earth falling away as we continued up into our ascents, but also some of those crowd shots where we saw young and old just emotional, overcome by this history-making moment.
Man, we are going back to the moon for all, and we saw that today. We saw that in all the crowds. And yeah, you guys just saw that view, the sunrise or sunset, I guess. They just made it over the crest of the Earth, and you could see the sun peeking over. One of my favorite views from space, and I can't imagine what they're looking at now, and I can't wait to see what they're looking at in about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm surprised this launched on the first try, because we know, like any little thing, we have to be keeping safety in mind, and we want to make sure we're ready to go. But we were ready to go, and I think it surprised a lot of people. What a wonderful surprise on this Wednesday evening.
It did, and it kind of surprised me as well. But it's just a testament to the team here that has been working so hard on Artemis. Artemis 1, we learned a ton of lessons. We learned a ton from the wet dress for Artemis 2. We were able to go in, fix those things. We even had a couple mishaps today, not mishaps, but a couple, anomalies today that the team creatively came up with solutions for. It's just a testament to the teamwork that gets us to the moon.
And so we can continue to watch Christina, Reed, Victor, and Jeremy on their way now to the moon in Earth's orbit and awaiting the next in-flight milestones, deploying Orion's solar arrays. So why don't we get back in with Mission Control and Gary.
So I think what we'll do is we'll wait for the solar arrays to be deployed at T plus 20
thank you, Megan.
minutes.
Again, we're following along in the action.
And then we'll
it is a long day. They have a number of procedures they need to get to immediately in their timeline.
About anything, throw in the chat.
Integrity Houston, cross-tie is on board per the ETSI-DEM.
We copy Houston. Thank you.
Cross-tie referring to flight controllers here initiating a connection between some of the batteries aboard the Orion spacecraft, allowing for an even distribution of power. This is the flight control teams that took us through Ascent of the Artemis 2 mission today. Right now we're, as you see, passing 18 minutes of mission elapsed time. The Orion spacecraft integrity and the interim cryogenic propulsion system are maneuvering tail to sun. It is in this orientation, this attitude.
Integrity any words on that momentary prop caution.
So what happens now?
And Reed, no action. We're looking at it.
What's going on here? Something's up there.
Commander Reed Wiseman verifying what is being routed to his displays aboard integrity. Propulsion engineer confirming that no action is needed at this time. They're pressing through with their nominal procedures to prepare for the perigee raise maneuver. And of course the solar array wing deploy ahead of that.
So the solar deploy will
The solar wing deploy is a critical milestone. We'll continue to have our coverage follow the mission until that deployment. Successful launch is just the beginning. The deployment of the solar arrays and successful confirmation that those solar array wings are drawing power is a significant milestone, and says to the flight control teams that we will continue on today's mission. Power needs to be drawn to continue through some of the next milestones. Until then, the AOA open option that was called up upon Ascent, the aboard once around, is the current option, and aboard to orbit option ATO will be switched to a preferred mode at the time that the solar array wings are deployed and latched. It gives the flight control teams a little bit more flexibility.
Integrity Houston, update on TDRS handover for your pad.
T plus 20.
Give us just 1 minute. And Stan, you can read it. Ike is ready to copy.
Roger. TDRS handover east to west expected 1 second earlier at 5:1 minutes 26 seconds.
All right, Stan, we copy 1 second earlier for 5126 TDRS east to west, and saws are starting to deploy. Thermal knives are firing.
We concur. Thanks for the report.
Read back of the reports that you just heard on the Orion to Earth network. Integrity has maneuvered tail to sun. The RL-10 nozzle on the end of the ICPS is pointed towards the sun, and the solar array deployment sequence has begun. With the deployment confirmed, it'll be several minutes until they are what is called in a latched position. Once they are latched and confirmed to be drawing power, they can switch the mode to ATO and continue along the mission. The teacher's handover at the pad, that message meant the crew was provided some preliminary numbers of when to expect handovers between the tracking and data relay satellites. Currently orbiting Earth at an altitude of 545 statute miles above the Earth, they are in a near-Earth network communication system. The tracking and data relay satellites, geosynchronous satellites that are stationed about 23,000 miles above the Earth. After the apogee rays burn, that occurs later today, the burn itself will put them in an altitude that surpasses the range of the tracking and data relay satellites, and they will transition to the deep space network today.
And integrity for prop messages, we see 2 temperature measurements right near the line. It's that momentary message you saw earlier. We're going to suppress those. It's CM helium heater 2 T1 and heater 1 T1. They're going suppressed.
Integrity, thank you. We see the same.
So once this is locked in, drawing power, they're going to cut, and we'll cut too. Is the next milestone after that will be like 49 minutes, and that's when they'll raise parity?
This is Mission Control Houston, passing 23 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission.
And like I said, that's like a half an hour later.
This is after a launch that began at 5:35 and 12 seconds Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the orientation you're seeing from our aero visualization that translates some of the telemetry that we're getting from the spacecraft and puts it into a model so you can follow along on some of the milestones that we are following here. The RL-10 nozzle that you see at the left end of your screen, though it is currently not firing, that nozzle is pointed towards the sun, and the solar arrays are currently deploying. From this visualization, they look fully stowed in a position.
Integrity, we are happy to report that Jeremy has the O2 sensors on.
Copy O2 sensors.
These O2 sensors.
Again, Commander Reed Wiseman and Pilot Victor Glover overseeing the deployment of the solar arrays. And we'll follow the attitude maneuver changes ahead of the first burn of the ICPS engine, the perigee raise maneuver.
Integrity Houston, we see 4 saws deployed and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
There you go.
Yeah, we're almost there in the procedure stand, and we see the same thing.
Someone mentioned this earlier, but where's Katy Perry?
And Integrity Houston, we are seeing a 7-second miscompare between the MET on Orion and ICPS. We'd like you to read us the MET from your center status bar and for the ICPS on StackSum.
And Stan, we see a absolutely precise alignment. MET 25, 14, 15, 16, precisely aligned with ICPS MET.
So how long before we get imagery?
Copy, thank you for that. We'll investigate a ground issue.
This is what you get.
And Houston Integrity, ATO preferred set.
Copy, ATO preferred.
Realistically, how long?
And we can get like imagery from like the moon or from the...
From anything.
Yeah, probably a week.
This is Mission Control Houston, 25 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2. We have confirmation that all 4 solar array wings are deployed and latched. This is the configuration needed to switch to ATO preferred, which you did hear confirmed from Pilot Victor Glover. That mode has been switched.
There you go. So that's the major
There's
milestone.
also a discussion with Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman about the alignment of the MET clocks on the Orion spacecraft and the ICPS. Commander Reed Wiseman confirmed the clocks are in sync, no issues. They're going to investigate it on the ground. We're proceeding with today's mission. 26 minutes of mission elapsed time and counting.
So, like I said, the next milestone after this would be at T plus 49 minutes, which would be that perigee raising where it's pushing up. And then after that, we won't really see that apogee burn would be like, what, 1 hour and some, almost 2 hours down the road. And then eventually what you're going to see is, like I told you before, you're going to see the ICPS and the capsule break apart. And then they're going to do some proximity maneuvers wrapping around it. They might even do a flip, so they're pointing at it, like almost like a docking maneuver. If not, then they'll stay in this position and just migrate kind of around it to make sure that they can maneuver in very fine means or method, so that when docking does need to happen, and we see a docking happening, for example, with the Starship, which will happen eventually, they'll be able to do it without a problem. And then also be able to do any type of docking in deep space, quote unquote deep space, around the moon. So once again, that is with 0 GPS. So it's all internal to it. And that's why they're going to do that proximity testing right around 4 hours.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're approaching 28 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, we've had a successful liftoff from the pad at 5:35 p.m. and 12 seconds p.m. Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time.
So if you guys are new to the channel and
We've had a good main engine cutoff,
subscribing.
4-stage separation, and a good trajectory to begin today's mission. Right now, the spacecraft has maneuvered tail to sun. We're standing by for another maneuver to maneuver into the burn attitude. This is where the RL-10 engine of the ICPS is pointed in the correct orientation for the perigee raise maneuver. We did hear confirmation that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition has been confirmed per the pad, which means it was the predicted time prior to liftoff.
Integrity for GNC, we're taking channel 1 to unfiltered and to BFS.
Okay, Stan, we're watching. Go ahead.
I really like that they share comms, so you know exactly what's going on at any given time.
Capcom Stan Love reading up to the crew of Integrity. They will switch the navigation source from channel 1, standing by for confirmation that that switch has occurred. Pilot Victor Glover will receive confirmation when, and as at least watching to confirm that that switch has occurred. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that we're heading towards, not too long from now, we're actually inside 20 minutes at this time from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. We did have a successful deployment and launched of all 4 solar array wings. This is the configuration needed to commit to the perigee raise maneuver. Of course, flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston will continue to evaluate that everything is good before committing to that burn. The perigee raise maneuver does raise the perigee, the lowest point in the orbit, from 15 to 100 nautical miles. The 100 nautical mile mark is needed to continue in low Earth orbit and hit the target for the apogee raise burn. That will put them in a high Earth orbit for the remainder of the day and set them up for the right position to execute the translunar injection and head to the moon tomorrow. The burn duration of the perigee raise maneuver is 26 seconds. A relatively short burn, but it does raise the perigee and do the job to get into the correct position before firing that main engine on the ICPS. The pad had a TDRS handover. This is the tracking and data relay satellites. East to west, they are geosynchronous satellites that are positioned around the globe. And as Orion makes its way around the Earth right now, above the west coast of Africa, at an altitude of about 923 statute miles, and counting.
Can I read off the question?
The perigee raise maneuver is not executed at the perigee. It is rather
So I'm going to turn
executed
them
on
down
the
just a little bit. Like I said, there's not going to be anything new
actually
here
closer to the apogee.
until 49 plus 49
But what it does is
minutes.
it raises the perigee on
And
the
that is
other
when
end of
perigee
the
will be
orbit
raised.
to 100 nautical miles.
I thought it was 115, but either way, 100 nautical miles.
The
Which is
26-second
amazing, with
duration
only
burn does not
26
conflict with
seconds of
the
burn.
time that they've
That's just
reported of
crazy.
the tracking and data relay satellite handover from TDRS east to west. Again, geosynchronous satellites that are used not only by Integrity today,
We'll
but
get
the
into a couple of
International Space
questions while
Station
they're
as well.
speaking on what's going on. Anything that comes. If you have any questions, once again at JCristina, and we'll get into them right now.
Jess Harrison said, I find it really odd they haven't offered any external
That
feeds
time
of
of
the
handover
spaceship like
is
SpaceX does.
51 minutes, 26 seconds.
So,
plenty of
in my
margin
personal opinion,
before the
I think they should.
perigee raise maneuver
NASA's
cutoff happens, and the trajectory is analyzed to see whether it was a good burn.
All right, we'll dial them back just a little bit so you can still hear them.
As expected, and sets the
Burn is
trajectory
good,
on course
everything
for
is
that
good.
100 nautical mile perigee target mark.
That's in 20 minutes. They'll be at that. They'll do that perigee burn. Anyway, so yes, I would like to see some more outdoor type of stuff. Cameras on board, the same thing that SpaceX does. They do have laser communication on
Again, for
board,
those sticking
so
with
they
us
could
on
send the
NASA
data if
Plus,
they
and
wanted
following along on our
to. Why
coverage,
they're
we will
not,
continue
I don't
to follow
know.
and,
Who knows? I mean,
cover
what
the
we're
mission
looking at
until-
is basically like a 3D CAD representation of what's going on based on
well, actually,
telemetry
we'll
that they're
continue to
getting.
cover the mission
So
24/7.
that's all that they give you. You know, when we watch Blue Origin or any
But we'll
other
wrap up our coverage here
system launch,
shortly.
it's the same kind of
And now
stuff.
that,
There's minimal
solar
camera
array wing
work, and the camera
deployment
work is
has
pretty much
occurred on
shites.
NASA Plus
But when you see
and,
SpaceX, it's completely. It's
Amazon
like I
Prime.
always say, it's always like on a different level completely.
Again, we will
it's like
continue
full
coverage
production
24/7
compared
at
to
the NASA YouTube
you know,
channel.
grade school production.
For those that
you
want
know,
to see
professional to
all of the
amateur.
upcoming
That being
milestones,
said,
there are select times
as long as they
where we
don't
will
end up with
be,
any anomalies,
coming
I'm
back
good with
to
not seeing
NASA
anything until
Plus
they
and
start
other streaming
sending
platforms.
the images back. I'm okay
You can
with
go
it.
to
But
NASA.gov
yes, it would be nice to
find
be able to
the
see what
latest
they
on
see.
when to find those activities.
Just like
Given that
on
this
the
is an
Starship, when
operational
Starship
mission,
goes
we
up,
do
you
want to
see
make sure that
everything.
we
You,
are,
you see inside the Pez dispenser. When they're launching
maintaining
out
transparency
satellites,
in
you
the
see
mission
the
and providing you
external
all the information
structure. You see
on what's happening
inside
in
the engine
space.
bay. You see everything.
Reed
right?
Wiseman, Victor
So
Glover,
it's
Christina
always
Cook,
nice to be able to
and
see all
Jeremy
that stuff.
Hansen had
It is what it is.
on their mission around the moon.
Arnold said they're trying to do the 50s communication.
Yeah, pretty much, right? They're using the. They're going to use AM radio or something. No,
Inside Integrity at this time. Again, the solar array wings have deployed. The Integrity
Yeah.
is maneuvering to
Yeah,
its
other-
burn
any
attitude
other ones that come
ahead
through?
of the execution
Yeah,
of the
sorry.
perigee raise maneuver.
JYR Java
Overseeing these steps
said the
is
travel
primarily
subscription
done
for
by Commander
Starlink
Reed
was too
Wiseman and
expensive
pilot
for
Victor
NASA.
Glover.
Exactly.
Specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen
And
focused
Exactly.
on
Kevin
some of
O'Connor,
the
I
system
take it Artemis
activation
has
inside
launched
of
on our
Orion,
local channel
namely
here
the
in
environmental and
OZ.
control and
We're
life
still
support
waiting on
systems.
the live launch. Manufacturer
The activation
news
and
much
checkout of some of
FFS.
these critical systems
Yeah, that's
are
the
very
problem.
important,
But yes, it
to
launched
continuing on the mission, making sure that
about,
those systems
let's see.
Very hard to
are
hear you still
in a
if
good
you can
Is it
condition
really?
and in a
NASA.
reliable
I think
condition
NASA got a little louder.
to provide
Okay, we'll pull NASA back a little bit.
environmental and
But yeah, so it would be nice to that you guys in OZ would get the latest and greatest. But yes, the mission is a success so far. The launch was successful. It is now 20 plus minutes into it. They deployed a solar array. The solar array locked into place as it should. It is gathering sunlight. That means it's gathering energy, meaning that it can be it's recharging their batteries. They can go to internal autonomous, not.
seconds.
49, 48, T goes 26.
If the solar array did not lock into place properly and was not collecting energy from the sun like it should be, they would have the ability to abort after one travel around the planet. It would have came into the Pacific Ocean and landed. That would be the end of it. So there's a lot of points of return where they can decide to abort or not.
A little more than 13 minutes from the time of ignition of the perigee maneuver. That time updated to be 2 seconds earlier was 49 minutes 50 seconds of mission elapsed time. Will now move to 49 minutes 48 seconds. The duration of the burn, that's what was referred to as the T-go, will still remain at
26 seconds.
Relatively short duration burn, again, just raises the perigee of the orbit today.
So what that will do is it will end up raising the rock. They'll be higher, right? And they're going to stay there throughout the day. And tomorrow is when they'll actually, let's say, launch to or progress to the moon.
Mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen inside activating those environmental control and life support systems.
And they will be able to abort even from there. They will really have to think hard and make sure everything is good before igniting the rockets. Because at that point, you are going to the moon. You know, that's... Any other questions while they're going through time updates?
Not questions, more comments.
Okay.
Phil's Camping said, I remember when Armstrong went to the moon, they was using the dish at parks in NSW here in Australia.
Yep, absolutely.
That one is not urgent. 2 minutes to maneuver to PRM attitude.
As they're wrapping around the planet, they're switching comms, communications.
Craig said you should get your rocket out and explain properly.
So they're
instead
going to be
of the batteries, it makes more sense.
Maybe I'll explain the proximity thing with the rocket.
There you go.
So if this is the ICPS, right, that's going to launch it towards the moon, and then the top section, which will be the capsule, comes apart like this. What they'll end up doing I think it's like about 4 hours into it, they'll end up doing this maneuver around that ICPS before leaving it in the dust and going to the moon. Does that make sense? There you go. So, but yeah, for right now, they're basically moving from like low Earth orbit. They're going to be pushing up into.
So it comes apart?
It does come apart. So the ICPS is the back end, right? So, well, you can't see it now. They're not showing it, but it's that back piece, right?
So where were the solar panels extend
so
out?
So the solar panel. So
use
right
your
now,
rocket.
No, use the rocket. So if the sun is here, right, the rocket is positioned like this towards the sun, and then the solar panels are locked this way towards the sun to gather energy. So it's kind of going like, let's call it Ascent is how it's going, right? Or this way or that way, but basically dead on to the sun. So it's collecting energy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See? I can understand better with the visual.
We just need a visual.
The batteries wasn't doing it for me.
The batteries, the something, perigee, yeah.
Yeah. No, they're not landing on the moon.
No.
Everybody keeps saying they're going to the moon, but they're not going to the moon. They're going around the moon.
So if this is the Earth and this is the moon, right? This is the Earth, this is the moon. They're doing a figure eight. They're going around the Earth, and then they're going to launch off this way.
Where's
and then
your
go
rocket?
I know rocket. And then it's going to go. They're going to go around the moon and come back. That's basically what they're doing.
I think we have a moon back here. I can bring it up.
Yeah, we'll just hold up the moon, and I'll just.
Yeah, it's over here.
So, the bottom line here is you need all of the energy. Once again, that's stored, the delta V, right? You need all the energy to get to the moon. But once you get to the moon, you're using the moon's gravitational pull to slingshot you, once again, a figure eight, back to Earth. So That's kind of like the gist of it. So they're not really getting really close to the moon. I think it's like, I mean, if anyone knows to be exact, I think it's between 4,000 and 7,000 kilometers or something away from the moon. They're not like on top of it. So they're swinging around it.
They're just taking a drive-by.
They're taking a little jaunt. They're taking a little journey to the moon, looking at everything, taking some pictures, and they're coming back.
Yeah. William Favrick said that maybe they will surprise us and land. It would be the best kept secret. Can you imagine?
They just land. Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Without a landing anything, we're just here. Yeah.
Michael Johnson said when they do land on the moon, they need to spread out a stadium-sized flag so we, China, Russia can see it in the telescope. That would be amazing.
That would be funny. I like that.
Aged Wise One, NASA is old school conservative when it comes to live in-capsule shots of manned missions.
100%.
In case of malfunctions, etc. Social media sharing of bad stuff video would be bad publicity. Absolutely agreed.
Yeah. So right now on the screen, you guys can see that solar array, that panel locked into place, collecting energy. That's a 3D CAD representation of what's going on based on telemetry that's being sent back down to Earth.
Control room, the team you see here.
No one you know
the,
said we
ascent
are coming back.
of
April
our 4
Fools.
astronauts inside Integrity, launching at 6:35 and 12 seconds.
When will
PM
the spaceship be back again?
When what?
When will it come back again? In 10
This
days.
is 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 10-day episode, 6 days there, and then they just kind of they don't even orbit. They kind of like sling around it and come back. But what's really interesting, guys, is they get to see the backside of the moon. Who sees that? Not many people, right? So that's pretty cool.
Well, Sun Farm says.
So they're kind of wrapping it up right now. They are going to give updates continuously.
Yeah, they said they're going to be on 24/7.
Yeah, they will be on 24/7. They have 3 crews that are going to constantly update. So you'll be able to go to nasa.gov, or you can go to the YouTube channel and see if they are going to continue any type of coverage. I'm going to guess they probably won't, but what will probably end up happening, you know what, let's listen to them say goodbye here, and then we'll finish our coverage
Space
too.
Center. It was such an amazing sight to be a part of. And now, as Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey, we here at the Kennedy Space Center are about to wrap our broadcasts. We'll, of course, though, have 24/7 coverage with our colleagues at Johnson Space Center starting as soon as we sign off, so don't worry. You can follow along our 4 astronauts every minute of their nearly 10-day journey to the moon and back. Nicole, I'll definitely be watching it, and I'm sure you will, too.
Yes, of course. You know, they just started, right? The launch was beautiful. This was a historic day. They're on their way back to the moon for the first time in over half a century, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them, and so we're excited to see what they have to do and excited to test out the Orion spacecraft. This is a test flight after all, and we're excited to see what we can learn from this mission.
Very humbling, inspiring. It was really amazing to be a part of this, and I'm so glad that so many people joined along by either watching here in person or watching online. And of course, Nicole, thank you so much for sitting through this, answering questions, adding so much context and information that really brought a lot out of what we saw today.
Oh man, I had a blast. You're a rock star. You're a
my
professional.
Gosh,
this was great.
Oh, you're great.
So this was a wonderful day.
Well, again, thank you so much, and thank you to you for watching at home. You know, tonight we didn't just launch a rocket, we launched the next chapter of human exploration. Our Artemis 2 crew now on their way back to the moon, and we're taking you with us. So thank you again for watching, and go Artemis 2.
Go Artemis 2, guys. Go Artemis 2.
Welch and Sun Farm said, it is all AI. The ship is in the Walmart parking lot. April Fools.
Yes.
That's why there's no cameras.
Phil's
camping. It's a computer game.
Leak checks. Yes, a pre-flight tradition.
Jesse Harrison, when do we see Starlink going symmetrical?
Yeah, so guys, we're going to go ahead and we will turn off their feed and turn us up a little bit so you can hear us better. Symmetrical for the for SpaceX Starlink will probably, I want to say, happen by third quarter of this year. Could be earlier, but I'm going to say third quarter of this year because SpaceX Starlink needs to have those version 3 Starlink satellites placed into LEO, low Earth orbit, before they really go symmetrical. They need the extra bandwidth. They need the 550 megahertz, that extra communication. I call it a highway. So instead of a 4-lane, they need an 8-lane highway to be able to do a symmetrical connection, a bidirectional, a 500 by 500, a gig by a gig, a 100 by 100, whatever. And we no longer see this asymmetrical connection because it's a pain in the ass and no one likes it, right? Everyone likes to see upload speeds as fast as download speeds. Okay. And SpaceX Starlink is getting there. Just hang in there. Probably be third quarter is one of my guess. What else do we have for questions? If you guys have any questions, throw them in there before we are out.
Before we are out of here.
Before I take my rocket and get out of here.
I think it was great suggestion by Craig. I mean, you should have been using the rocket the whole time.
Should have.
Let's see. Phil's Camping Joy. I watched a documentary a few days ago where they tried to photograph Armstrong's landing site. They could not find any cameras or telescopes that could reach that far with enough detail.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, it's far away. What is it, 250,000 miles, some kind of crazy amount.
The best they could do was 1 pixel.
1 pixel, that's what you get. I appreciate it. Speed Razor, thank you so much for that super chat. Truly appreciate that. Thank you, thank you,
Love
thank
it.
you.
Finally leaving Leo. We're back.
Yeah, finally leaving Leo. Low Earth orbit. And once again, this is the first international person to leave Leo, and he is Canadian. So this is big. This is really, really big. We're moving forward. Obviously, it is a small step to Mars, and they'll all tell you the exact same thing. Everyone from NASA and SpaceX and Elon Musk, they want to get to Mars, but to really do it and do it safely, you need to get to the moon first and use it as a testing bed, a testing ground to make sure that there is no anomalies that happen and we lose astronauts because of them. So once again, that test, that proximity test that they're going to do is very, very big for docking, for example. Also, they're going to be doing tests on themselves. They're going to be doing tests on radiation levels. Because what people don't understand is in low Earth orbit, even though there's a lot more radiation than here on Earth, because we have the ozone layer, we have the atmosphere that is keeping the radiation away from us, when you're in Leo, you don't have as much of it. So you are getting a larger dose of radiation. But once we get out of that shell, let's say, once you're in geo, even further, once you're in deep space, there is nothing that blocks the X-rays, the gamma rays, the nasty rays that are not necessarily seen. They're unseen rays that are so powerful, they act like bullets, tiny bullets that go through your body and destroy your DNA. They destroy your cells. So this is going to be a very interesting time to see how much radiation they're exposed to now that we have newer equipment in comparison to 52-year-old equipment or whatever they had when we got there the first time. So there's so many tests that are happening.
So like I look at it from the human perspective, that we had all those women calculating. They were the calculators, and now we're legit, I would say, solely relying on the computer to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. And I like it and I don't like it.
I was going to say, because I remember, well, in the movie, the part where the astronaut was still questioning the math that they came up with, and he requested a specific computer lady to come back into the room to
and
recalculate.
Do the math again,
yeah.
Recalculate it. Yeah.
So I think that's crazy how far we've gotten. And so like when people say that didn't happen, but you had these women doing the math.
No, I mean it
just,
happened.
What?
So the thing, I mean, the thing that I really enjoy about it is that, you know, we have progressed, but the thing is the bases are still the bases. You know, physics doesn't change. Physics is physics. It's law, right? Same thing with thermodynamics. I talked about thermodynamics in a few videos I've just recently did, and I talked about how difficult it is to put a data center on space in LEO or even in MEO, even in GEO, due to the sun. And everyone thinks that it's so cold in space. Well, if you're in the shadow of space, it's negative 200 plus degrees centigrade. But if you're in the sun in space, it's positive boiling, positive 200, 120, 130 degrees Celsius. So you go from boiling to extra freezing just by being in shadow or not. So there's a lot that goes into it. And like I said, thermodynamics, physics, astrophysics, everything that these computers or these people used to learn is what the computers are doing now. But I hope, and I'm guessing, there's still people that are learning the algorithmic equations, that are doing the math, and not just relying on the computers to do the math, because computers are wrong. That's like a lot of people, they rely on AI today just to find out that AI is wrong as soon as you are let's say a learned or a master of a certain subject. When you know a subject really well, you ask AI questions about the subject that you know very well, you'll find that AI is wrong probably 7 out of 10 times. I mean, it's wrong a lot. But if you do not understand it, right, then you just think that it's correct. And people just live their life with these AIs, Grok and Perplexity and ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude and just all these, and they live their life with them and they don't question them. Everything that is said, the way that the AI speaks to you today, it speaks to you as if it is 100% correct, and it is not. And that is the problem. So once again, when it comes to AI, do your due diligence and question everything that you get. Double check everything, because many times it is wrong. So anyways, like I said, I hope there's people that are still learning the math, doing it by hand, so that if a computer does it, that's fine, but you understand what it's doing. Right? Not just, just say, oh, it's okay. It's using, Stefan Boltzmann's law, of thermodynamics and what's going on when it comes to heating a radiator or something. Who cares? Well, just because you know the equation, now do you know how to use the equation and what goes where, what plugs in where, right? So anyways.
So questions about the what batteries are they using on the spaceship?
I have no clue what kind of batteries they're using.
And I doubt they would use direct power of the solars. And
no, definitely not direct power. It is to
It's just
recharge.
to gather solar?
Yes. So if they cannot recharge the batteries because that solar array, that panel did not lock into place, so they could, if they were not able to, they would abort, period. They would abort the mission. So that was a major milestone at plus 20 minutes when Orion solar arrays deployed and they locked into place, and then it flipped and it's pointing towards the sun so it can collect those rays. That was a major, major milestone. Because like I said, if it didn't happen, they would have done a once around and splashed down in the Pacific. So it did lock into place, so we're still go to the moon.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we're go to perigee at least, raising perigee up to 100. What is it? 100 miles? What? Yeah, raising perigee into a very, very high Earth orbit, not low Earth.
So does the rocket take batteries or main power?
That's they use batteries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Sparks said, "I hope they get to Mars while Neil Tyson is alive. He keeps saying it's impossible for humans to make it."
Yeah, it's not impossible. It is definitely possible. There's just a lot that goes into it, and people don't talk about it, Mm-hmm. Just the radiation alone. There's different ways to harden a craft from radiation. You can do like the ISS does and have like thermal layers, right? You can also do a water layer, a liquid layer. But every time you do a layer to reduce the amount of radiation, you add a ton of mass, a ton of weight, and it ends up being problematic because weight is the biggest issue when it comes to launching, right? So I remember we were just at at Kennedy at the space station, and we were there at the Space Center, and we were there, and we actually were able to, with Shannon, to talk to an astronaut, and that was one of the questions that I asked her was if the ISS or any of their systems have on board a room that is more radiation, let's say, hardened, so that if there's a solar episode to happen and there's a ton of radiation coming, could they go to escape? And there is. And I didn't know that. I just asked the question, sure damn enough. So, they build things in a manner where there's certain areas where they can go to withstand greater amounts of radiation. And we here on Earth monitor the radiation that's coming from the sun at all times. So they can let someone know that's on the ISS or now even here on the craft going to the moon at any given time if there is some type of solar episode happening, and to be aware of it, to seek shelter, so to speak, right? But I'm going to guess the entire capsule is hardened, but they're still going to use the information, the radiation information that they get within that capsule for more data to be able to see how they move forward and how does that 10 days of radiation affect. Remember, you're not in low Earth orbit anymore.
Yeah.
There's no, there's nothing stopping radiation from hitting you besides your craft. So there's going to be a lot of testing done over the next 10 days. So this will be fascinating. Like I said, as a photographer, what I want to see is a high-res, high-pixel, high-definition DSLR shot. It could be a Canon, maybe a Nikon, a shot of our beautiful, just unbelievably precious planet that is blue marble, just sitting out there in the middle of nothing. Because where they will be at about 4,000 to 7,000 kilometers off the moon, our planet will literally be the size, if they hold up their hand, the size of a marble. Can you imagine that? That's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here, you could use that.
No, it just took a dump.
Oh, okay. No, you can use mine.
I don't want to use yours. I want to use this one. Mine. It should work.
So, anyways.
That's his whole purpose in life.
That's what it is. Yeah. But it's normal YouTube.
God.
YouTube works and then doesn't work. It's not like it's $1 billion company.
No.
It's not run by Google and Google run by Alphabet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like $1 trillion company? No, that's not the case. So anyways, that's for another video. Anyways, guys, so I really, I'm thankful you came and hung up with us and just watched this happen. This is historic. I'm going to kind of report on it little by little. If something happens that's big, I'll report on it during the week. But we're going to get back to normal, episodes of videos coming out of the channel starting tomorrow and the next day. And the minute I end up hearing about the new AI that I want to do a video on, which is DeepSeek, version 4, I'm going to do a video on that too. So hang tight for that. Just a lot of cool stuff that's happening. We have, just think about this, we have the next generation of Starship that's going to be launching in like 3 weeks. Just a lot of just cool stuff. So there's a lot of things to watch. And if you're not subscribed, consider doing so. If you haven't went over to the shop, take a look at some of the merch, some of the shirts and whatnot, pick something up, help support the channel. You can do that at any time. Go to jcristina.com/shop, jcristina.com/shop. Yes.
Really quick, yes, YouTube is being very glitchy, so I know it's hard for you guys to hear. I just got frozen and taken off the chat, so.
I don't know.
It's. Hi, Robert Fralick. Hold on, I have a couple of.
All right, a couple of questions, then we're out.
William Baverick said, I want to see a gigapix shot of the moon. Craig said,
Me too.
You did not get the joke about does the rocket take batteries or main power? LOL.
No.
Phil's Camping loves my shirt. Got it at the Kennedy Space Center when we went.
You want to tell them about your shirt?
I went to put my shirt on, and I thought I was looking really cute, and I looked up, and there was 2 holes here. So I had to take it off. I had to take it off and sew the holes, and then Joe walked in, and he's like, "Well, I hope that doesn't happen with the with
I
the
hope that
rocket."
doesn't happen with the launch. I mean, literally, just bought the shirt and the collar. The stitching came off, and there was 2 holes, and she had to sew it back up. I'm
Made
like,
in
geez.
China.
Yeah, that's what happens, right?
With a hot needle.
Hot needle, China.
Thank God I know how to sew.
Yeah, if not, she would have holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally just got
that
the
was
shirt
my
like 2 weeks ago.
malfunction.
Yeah, that was the malfunction.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Let me switch over so you guys can see this. This is a cool shot. Look at that. Is that just a beautiful room? Is that just amazing?
Yes.
I mean, that's just cool. I don't know what else to say. That's just simply cool. All the computers, everything going on, just a ton. Everyone has a job to do. It's amazing to me what we can do today. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy that we went by the old original control room when we were there. And then like this is like so next level compared to those little rows of desks that they had and the big screen and the ashtrays everywhere.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
the lab coats.
Yeah, literally
That's
ashtrays
really
on the all over the place. It's just crazy where we've come for sure. Any other questions? If not, we're going to get out.
Not really. Mark Sparks. It amazes me that you are on one of their main screens.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
Mark, what are you saying? I don't understand. John said she be holding.
That would be pretty cool, right?
Michael Samuels, I am hearing clearly in Jamaica, and I am not yet on Starlink. Paid the down payment and waiting for go here, though. It is at capacity for Starlink currently.
That's what happens, but it's going to get better. Just hang in there. Hang in there. They're up to 10,000 satellites so far that are operational.
Yeah, John Wolf, it is a lot different from 50 years ago. That is for sure.
Yes.
Colin Kaiser, I remember when each of those computer screens would have had its own launch crew specialist.
Correct.
Michael Johnson looks better with computers rather than how it did back in the day with buttons all over like a nuke plant. That's true. It did have that kind of a vibe.
It did have the nuclear power plant vibe.
Oh, yeah. Mark said, your thumbnail looked to me part of the control room.
No.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah said, Joe, light it up. And Thomas, well, they're showing an exterior view right now.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to be covering it 24/7. They said.
Here, let me go and switch
cool.
over to it. There you go. Yes, so there is that exterior view, and you can see the two panels that are locked into place, gathering some sunlight. So they are working. They're doing exactly. But now look at the, you look at the quality of the images compared to the quality of the images that we see with SpaceX, and it's like on a different level, right? I feel like they're still using 1950s cameras. I don't know, but it's still cool. At least we can see.
Hey, at
this.
least we can see something, right?
Yeah. At least we can see this.
It's funny because I was just going to say that looks like a still image, but I looked at that light ray and it was like moving.
It's moving.
It's so crazy to me how, I mean, it just, my mind can't comprehend how we can get these images. Like, I know Joe explains it all the time, but it's still, like, it's wild to me.
Yeah. It is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. The ability. So once we get towards the moon and they start taking pictures, they'll probably put it onto their main page. And at that point, we'll be able to see what they see, but in high definition in comparison to these outdoor cameras that they use here, which are usually lower quality. They have a ton of like blast protection around them, glass that's this thick, that's fogging up and all kinds of other stuff. So
Sarah, really quick, I just said the same thing, but if you look at the very back of the image, you'll see the lighting shifting and changing from time to time.
Besides it looking like
it's fake.
Yeah.
And I do agree. I say this all the time, William, that we can get all this stuff, but our cell phones go dead. This just went dead on me and locked up. So that I think the same way. Like, wait, how is this a thing when we can't even do local stuff?
So just think about them spending, $24 billion on this one rocket, and it is zero reusable. There's nothing of it that's reusable. It's completely expended.
Yeah.
24 billion, I think it is. 20 billion, whatever. It's just a lot, and it's just all gone. That was it. In comparison to what Elon Musk is doing with Starship, where it is reusable. I mean, like 100% reusable for the most part. Even now, the ring the ring that separates the Starship from the lower half, right, is now part. Now with the next iteration, next innovation, I guess, is going to be a part of the Starship. So you're not going to even have that ring lost into the ocean anymore. So that's the hot staging ring that I'm talking about. So, you know, everything that Elon is doing is for reusability. Everything that they do, NASA does, it's like a one-time shot. So that's the biggest problem. Like if we were to work like NASA, we would never be able to get to Mars. It would just be you can't iterate fast enough. You're spending just so much money. It's just not possible. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to Starship coming up in about 3 weeks. We will be live for that. It's my favorite. The coverage is awesome.
Friday is Good Friday.
Yeah, we have Easter coming up.
Sunday.
Yeah, and then...
And we are on baby watch.
And we're on baby watch because we have
If
a new
anybody
addition
has
to the family coming.
So I wanted to share this just because a lot of people still ask from time to time if you do photography. So we did a photo shoot with our daughter who's going to have a baby. Her due date is actually today. And if anybody has Instagram and you still want to see some of Joe's work, we just posted a picture of her maternity shot that is very cool.
On my Instagram?
Yeah, on your Instagram.
I didn't even know that.
I know.
Thank you.
Because you're not your social media manager.
Thank you, social media manager.
You're welcome. So
Take a look at my
it's very
Instagram.
cool and it's very in theme with what's happening because her due date, like I said, is today. And today is also a pink moon, full moon. So
There you
yeah.
go. Take a
Anyways,
look.
it was a tidbit because of everything that's going on.
Very cool.
And so, yeah, you still do photography once in a while and
Yeah.
all the things that go along with it.
Yeah, I have probably about 12 Canon cameras and stacks of lenses and all kinds of other stuff that I was, covering big events for like 10, 12 years, 15 years, I don't know, a long time. So anyways, guys.
Sarah said really quick, how do they keep the rocket going? It doesn't run out of fuel. Surely it can't be burning nonstop for 10 days.
No, so once they're, okay, so that's a really good question. So right now, the rocket's in LEO, right? Would be the equivalent to, it's a little bit higher, but let's say the equivalent to like the ISS, height, altitude. And now it's going to push into at like T minus or T plus 49 minutes. So pretty soon, it's going to push into about 100 miles, let's say about, so it's going to push into a much higher orbit. Well, as you get further and further away from the planet, the craft experiences less and less drag, atmospheric drag. Once you get to like a high Earth orbit, let's say in GEO, there's no atmospheric drag at all. There's basically no gravity either. There's very little. Okay, so an object in GEO can literally sit there for 100 years, multiple centuries, and not come back to Earth. Okay, so once you get there, when you're in space, once again, there is no atmosphere, so there's no drag at all. So when you push a vehicle in a direction, it will keep going in that direction in perpetuity until you stop it. So if you're pushing in this direction, let's say at 1 mile per hour, the craft is going to continue in this direction at 1 mile per hour forever until you light another opposing rocket or engine that will push it at that negative 1 mile per hour to stop it. Or you can also flip it and then once again hit it this direction, either which way. The bottom line is once they end up igniting that rocket and they are off to the moon, they will be coasting to the moon for 2 days. So there's no burning of rocket. There's no burning. Just for example, just for them to get from LEO up into that high GEO, even higher, is only going to be a rocket burn, propulsion for 26 seconds. That's it, So, 12, 15, let's say 15 miles to like 100 miles, you're looking at just 20 seconds of burn. It's not a lot. Once again, because there's next to no gravity, very little atmospheric drag at that point, once again, once you get to GEO. So hopefully that helps you get an understanding of a vacuum of space. when there's nothing that is impeding anything from moving. Once it starts moving, it's going to keep on moving in the same direction.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, don't
All right,
forget that
guys.
NASA, like Joe said, is going to be updating 24/7. And
Yes,
then
go to
anything
NASA.
important comes through, you'll probably pop on real quick or something.
Yeah, I might jump on during this week, maybe even in the weekend or whenever I can. Maybe I'll do a live just randomly and just talk about anything.
We're going to aim for Friday, but we can't guarantee it because...
Yeah, because we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but possibly Friday we'll be here. If not, maybe I'll do a live here and there. So just subscribe so you get notification. And there's going to be a lot more videos coming. Tomorrow will be the next big video, let's say. The videos have been getting longer and longer, and I'm going to fix that. I'm going to try to keep the videos under 30 minutes, maybe between about 20, 25 minutes, somewhere around there. My last video was like 40 minutes or something. It was long, and I apologize. It was just such a big topic.
I wasn't there to kick them.
Yeah. It was such a big topic, and I wanted to explain the difficulty of putting a data center in space, because there's so many people that talk this stuff continuously. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. So I tried to explain it as best to my ability. So definitely watch the video. You'll get a lot of good information from it.
So thank you once again, Shannon, for being here and
Thank you,
supporting
Shannon.
the channel. And if you got a gifted membership from Shannon, please reach out and say thank you. Thank you to all you guys that are always here hanging out with Joe and myself and our craziness. We appreciate it. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I'm going down the list.
Do it.
Sarah, thank you very much. Happy Easter to everybody. I hope you have a great Sunday if we don't see you on Friday. What else?
That is it.
Don't forget Instagram. I did drop some links in the chat.
There you
If
go. Check out Instagram.
Check out Shopify,
You see some work.
Instagram, and I don't know. I put the link for the space station also.
Yeah, take a look at the space station, because that will give you a lot, like a bunch of information on what's going on, and it'll also tell you what the next rocket is that's going to be launching out of all 3 locations. That's Vandenberg, the Texas base, Starbase, as well as here in Cape Canaveral. So anyways, guys, blessings.
Yes.
We'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Take care.